The city hummed with life, neon lights flickering against the rain-slicked streets. Inside Le Chateau Bleu, one of the finest restaurants in downtown, waiters moved like clockwork, serving the elite who lounged with entitlement and half-smiles. Among them, Jonathan Hale, the restaurant's head waiter, prided himself on charm. But he was ruthless when it came to the bottom line. Outside, Maya, a young homeless girl of 19, hugged her tattered jacket around her shoulders. Her stomach growled with a ferocity she had grown used to ignoring. She watched through the rain-streaked window as couples laughed, waiters bowed, and desserts were piled high like tiny monuments to excess. Her eyes fixated on the discarded scraps. Uneaten bread, wilted salad, leftover bits tossed into the kitchen's waste. Summoning courage, she pushed open the grand doors. "Spare something, anything?" she whispered, eyes darting toward the waiter. Jonathan's expression hardened. "We don't do that here. Leave." His voice carried the dismissive authority of someone used to being obeyed. Maya's shoulders sank, but she didn't move. She simply reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, worn notebook, its edges frayed. Jonathan noticed the notebook and laughed condescendingly. "What's that? A diary? Planning to write about your tragic life?" Maya's lips trembled, but she met his gaze. "It's mine. It's what keeps me going." Curiosity flickered in Jonathan's eyes. He stepped closer, still smug. "You think that little thing matters?" Maya flipped it open, revealing pages filled not with despair, but with drawings and diagrams. Intricate sketches of restaurant layouts, service patterns, and efficiency charts. Jonathan froze. These weren't just doodles. They were a blueprint for running a restaurant better than his own. Maya's fingers trembled as she turned page after page, each one more detailed than the last menus, stock rotation, waste reduction strategies. The tension in the room thickened. Maya's quiet dignity contrasted sharply with Jonathan's smug arrogance. I could help," Maya whispered. "I could save you money, reduce waste, make this place even richer than it already is." Jonathan laughed, a sharp, cruel sound. "Why would I trust a homeless girl? You want scraps, not a business plan." But as he turned back to his station, a subtle unease crept over him. Maya wasn't like anyone he'd ever met. She had knowledge, insight, and a fearless gaze that unnerved him. Days passed. Jonathan dismissed Maya, but she returned every evening, helping in secret, organizing leftovers, preventing spoilage, optimizing table turnover. Her methods quietly revolutionizing the restaurant from the shadows. Profits surged. The manager noticed but couldn't figure out how. Maya had become an invisible force, her presence felt but unseen. Yet one night, disaster struck. A critical inspection arrived unexpectedly. Jonathan, still arrogant, assumed all would go smoothly. The inspector frowned. "There's a major compliance issue in your storage. Someone's been tampering with your waste logs." Jonathan panicked. His employees, loyal to him but aware of Maya's interventions, exchanged uneasy glances. For the first time, he realized he was out of control. Maya stepped forward, notebook in hand. She calmly presented her organized logs, charts, and solutions. "You dismissed me when I asked for leftovers," she said softly. "But I've been saving this place while you were blind to the waste." The inspector's eyes widened. Jonathan stammered. His empire, built on arrogance and cruelty, was crumbling before a homeless girl he had mocked. The restaurant survived, thanks to Maya. Jonathan was demoted, humiliated in front of his peers. The staff, inspired by her courage and ingenuity, rallied around her. Maya was offered a position, not as a servant, but as a consultant and strategist, the very architect of the restaurant's new success. She smiled, not with revenge, but with quiet vindication. The life lesson was clear. True value is not measured by status or wealth, but by courage, insight, and integrity. Those who dismiss the powerless often find themselves powerless in the end. Jonathan never forgot the day a homeless girl showed him that intelligence, resilience, and dignity cannot be ignored. And sometimes, justice comes in the form of quiet, undeniable brilliance. Maya, standing by the window, looking out at the city that once ignored her, notebook in hand, ready for the next challenge. The waiter, now humbled, watches silently from the background, frozen by the realization that power is not given. It is earned, and sometimes it is reclaimed by the least expected.